Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is obviously I have to do Bret Hart versus Hulk Hogan. These were the two driving forces behind the episode. WWE with Bret Hart. Bret Hart wasn't really featured that as much as I thought he would be in the episode. That's not necessarily a bad thing because you don't want to build a whole wrestling show around one person. Um, However, I think they could have used him in other ways, in better ways. His promos, however, with Shawn Michaels were great. His promo with Vince McMahon was okay. Nonetheless, I thought Bret Hart did a decent job, and of course we're going to be seeing him in the next couple of weeks as he has a contract that doesn't expire till after WrestleMania. So, and obviously with the way the show ended with Vince McMahon kicking Bret Hart in the jewels, it's gonna continue. Hulk Hogan, on the other hand, he did his little Hulkamania thing, and that never gets old to Hulkamaniacs. And so that's just standard fare. I thought that's just how it was. So I think TNA, I'm gonna call that one a tie. I'm gonna call that one a tie just to be fair. Alright, the next thing was the surprises, pulling out the big stops. No real big surprises on Monday Night Raw. There was nothing that was too shocking. I guess you could call the Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart burying the hatchet a big surprise, but not really. I wouldn't consider that a big surprise. So, that was basically it for WWE. Now TNA, as far as TNA goes, lots of surprises. Lots of surprises come to mind. You had Ric Flair, you had Jeff Hardy, you had tons of superstars from WWE of past. You had NWO. It was just a clusterfuck of stars from WWE's past. You had tons of shots at WWE. TNA really went at WWE, calling them out, exposing them for being a lackluster wrestling promotion, and I thought that was a good idea on TNA's part. So I'm going to go ahead and say TNA wins in that segment, hands down. TNA definitely had the surprises, and I think they needed it obviously a lot more than Raw, because they needed to prove something. Alright, so the last category, and I'm sure you can make many more categories as it pertains to these two wrestling promotions going at it on Monday nights. The last one that I'm going to do is the quality of the show. WWE, this show is no more special, besides Bret Hart, than any of the shows in the past couple weeks. Monday Night Raw has this constant feel of people who should be getting pushes not getting pushes, wrestling matches that should be great not being great, ideas that should be well implemented not being well implemented. Raw is just, as a whole, it's a big disappointment. It's just a week after week disappointment. I think the wrestling was lackluster. Bret Hart, as I said before, his promos were really nice, but we didn't really get many of them, so it can't really say the show was good on that. And so moving on to TNA, my first time ever watching a TNA show, it was obviously a different beast than WWE. Obviously the quality of the camera work and the twisting camera and it's just not up to par with WWE, and that's something to be expected, obviously. But I think and then the storylines were kind of cheesy and cliche, and the mic work wasn't that good. But you gotta look at what they did do well, and that's wrestling, putting on a wrestling show where the fans were actually into it, the fans were passionate about it. They were not trying to sell merchandise as WWE is still trying to do with their, Mattel figures, and I'm gonna call them dolls. But the whole idea is that TNA put on a show for its fans, and TNA put on a show for the wrestling community to show that TNA is not playing. You can't say the same for WWE, because WWE just makes a joke out of everything. So you can't really take them seriously. So I'm going to say the winner of tonight's head-to-head TNA versus Raw has to be TNA. And I'm not a big fan of TNA. As I said, this is my first time ever watching it, but I'm going to say TNA wins just for the sheer fact that they are going all in, balls out, to quote the Raw theme song. And then they're not worrying about WWE because they realize WWE is not in the same league as them. And with a great main event at the end of the night, you just have to give the nod to TNA. Really no contest. Monday Night Raw has a long way to go before they can even think about getting back to the way Monday Night Raw used to be, which is, wrestling. And Bret Hart's not going to do that for them. they're gonna have to do it for themselves. Wrestling is gonna have to step up. So TNA wins. I want to know, what did you guys think about tonight? This is probably the most interesting question of the night that we've had in a while. TNA or WWE? Which did you watch? Which did you think was better? And which will you continue to watch from here out? I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. If you have subscribed, tell someone who hasn't subscribed to subscribe. We're trying to get as many subscribers as possible. I want to thank all of you guys for watching this video, and don't forget to answer which WWE or TNA, which did you like more tonight, and which will you continue to watch. Peace out, you guys, and I'll see you later.